Welcome to another edition of GSC's Digital Network Update Show presented by Florida's Space Coast. Remember, you can head to visitspacecoast.com to learn more about a vacation to remember. Welcome to this GSC Digital Network Update Show. I'm Jim Cavall, and the GSC Spring Sports Championships have began to be crowned throughout the league's amazing teams. West Florida, who's traditionally a power in men's and women's tennis and men's and women's golf, got the sweep. They've done it before, and they've done it again, winning its 15th GSC championship in women's tennis, sweeping Shorter 6-0 in the 2015 women's tennis tournament. And then in men's tennis, West Florida also won, rallying from 3 down against Valdosta State, another traditional power in men's tennis, to win the 2015 GSC tournament. And then in women's golf, West Florida jumped out to a 19-stroke lead to claim the 2014-15 GSC women's golf title at Tunica National. And winning its 9th conference championship, they are heading to the field of the NCAA Division II tournament, which has been announced. And it's going to be amazing to see both them and the golf squad from the men's side at West Florida get a chance to do that, as both of those fields being announced this weekend. And that will give way to what should be an interesting field in the Division II men's and women's golf championships. The men started the final round in second, but roared back to claim the 2014-15 GSC tournament championship at Tunica National. So just awesome stuff for the University of West Florida. This is big also for them when it comes to the GSC All Sports Trophy, which will be announced on the men's side and the women's side. And that, of course, comes at the end of the year based on men's and women's championship performance with all the GSC schools. Meanwhile, we're gearing up for the softball championships as Valdosta State continue to pace the Gulf South Conference. Lady Blazers ranking at number 1 in the nation for the 5th consecutive week. VSU is set to host the 2015 Gulf South Conference Championship Tournament April 30th through May 3rd. Joining VSU in the tournament field so far are number 10 nationally ranked Alabama Huntsville, number 14 North Alabama, Shorter, and Union. The final field in seedings will be determined after this weekend's game, so it should be very interesting to see who ends up in the 2015 GSC softball tournament. We'll tell you all about it and cover it a little bit for you with highlights from Valdosta State. Meanwhile, in baseball, number 10 West Alabama built its nation-best winning streak to 20 games, dropping the rubber match in its series against West Florida this weekend. They did have a blemish, but the Tigers now join number 5 Alabama Huntsville as the only 2 Gulf South Conference baseball teams to be ranked in all 4 major NCAA Division II national polls, as well as 2 regional polls. West Georgia joined both UWA and UAH, and also having clinched a spot last week toward the GSC tournament. 3 spots remain as the season will come down to this weekend. Delta State, West Florida, Valdosta State, and North Alabama are all jockeying to clinch a spot toward the postseason. We'll let you know all the details for the baseball championships as we now get closer. And the regional rankings were announced for baseball, and it's pretty interesting to see what's going on because the GSC placed 3 teams in the first NCAA South Region rankings, as number 5 Alabama Huntsville paced the 3 Gulf South Conference teams, coming in at number 2, followed by number 10 West Alabama, which garnered the 3rd spot, and number 7 West Georgia. Both UAH and UWA will play this weekend for the right to host 2015 baseball tournament scheduled for May 1 through 5th, which once again we'll give you the details on. So a lot going on. West Florida really is the story. 4 GSC trophies hoisted and brought back to Pensacola in men's and women's golf and men's and women's tennis. But now we will see who will be crowned in baseball and softball. We'll cover it down the stretch in the 2014-15 GSC athletic campaign before crowning those 2 champs and giving you a review of the entire year of sports in the Gulf South Conference. So much to cover, so much to talk about, and share this with your friends on social media and make sure people know about the Premier League in Division II. And for everybody at the Gulf South Conference office, I'm Jim Cavall, and you have been watching this GSC Digital Network Update. A reminder that this week's edition of GSC's Digital Network Update show is provided by Florida's Space Coast. You can find them on the web at visitspacecoast.com to learn more about a vacation to remember. We'd like to thank our friends at Florida's Space Coast for presenting each week's update on the GSC Digital Network. And until next time, I'm Jim Cavell, and this has been your GSC Digital Network Update.